Oakland. The FBI has raided a home associated with Oakland Mayor Shing Tao.
It's hard to imagine now. By the time my first thought was that the FBI was at my door to help me. But what I do know is that this wouldn't have gone down the way it did if I was rich, if I had gone to elite private schools, or if I had come from money. Well, guess what? I'm not going down like that. There are a lot of radical right-wing forces who know they will never win an election in Oakland fair and square. They know their extreme views are at odds with our Oakland values, but they have built the rules to protect and preserve their power and maintain dominance over the rest of us.
That was Oakland Mayor Shing Tao blaming radical right-wing forces for getting raided by the FBI. Because everyone knows that the city of Oakland and the FBI are controlled by radical right-wing forces. If you didn't know this, don't worry, that just means you either have a functioning brain or you're not a government propagandist. In fact, the last time that Oakland had a Republican mayor was 1977. So according to the current mayor of Oakland, right-wing forces have set up a system to control Oakland. Unless she would try and say she was referring to the FBI in that case, which is even more laughable if you're going to say that somehow the FBI has a right-wing bias. Of course, she couldn't just blame right-wing forces. She also said that it happened because of her race and because she's poor. She's also not the first big city mayor to try and use this narrative. After Lori Lightfoot lost her re-election, she claimed that right-wing forces were the cause of it.
When the person with the biggest megaphone and biggest stage attacks you in a way that Trump attacked us, it unleashes a set of forces that are hard to control. Those dog whistles that were blown in 2020 are still resonating today, and it was fed by the uncertainty and the anger, and then funded by right-wing forces that wanted to take down a big city mayor.
So while the mayor worries about right-wing forces controlling Oakland, here's what's going on with the Bay Bridge at night.
And also new this morning, check this out. Traffic on the Bay Bridge coming to a stop because of a sideshow. You can see fireworks went up there and cars were doing donuts. Some people parked on the bridge to watch this spectacle while other drivers just got stuck in it overnight.
Now, as far as what's happened that led to this FBI raid of the mayor's house, apparently it's in relation to campaign contributions that she's received that came through multiple different layers of money laundering. And she's not the only one. There are multiple Democrats that are caught up in this, including some donations to Republicans.
New details about the man seemingly at the center of the FBI's political corruption investigation that raided the mayor of Oakland's home last week. Now it's getting more interesting. A short search on Andy Duong's Instagram page shows he frequently posts with people in high places in the political world, including President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, Governor Gavin Newsom, multiple pictures with Attorney General Rob Bonta, and Health and Human Services Secretary and former AG Javier Becerra. The list goes on, including some in other states like Nevada AG Aaron Ford. According to an investigation by the Fair Political Practices Commission, which is a state oversight arm, Andy Duong was the true source of at least 93 contributions to multiple local campaign committees when he created a campaign contribution laundering scheme to benefit his family-owned company, California Waste Solutions, or CWS, falsely using the names of intermediaries or straw donors instead of disclosing CWS as the true source of the contributions. According to the FPPC, this is an ongoing investigation with evidence suggesting it started around 2016 through at least 2018 and included some campaign contributions that were fraudulently concealed from the public. All but one of the campaign committees targeted were in jurisdictions with local contribution limits. And the investigation found during this time, the city of Oakland prohibited campaign contributions from contractors providing services to the city, requiring city council approval. Yet documents show many of the targeted committees were candidates running for city council. For example, Shing Tao, running for city council in 2018, received $9,900 from Duong that the FPPC alleges was laundered through 13 different people. The report also alleges that Larry Reed received $5,600 that was laundered through 8 different entities. Dan Kalb received $4,200 allegedly laundered through 6 different people or entities. Rebecca Kaplan allegedly received $3,500 laundered through 7 people. And former council member Desley Brooks received more than $18,000 over 2 campaign cycles, allegedly laundered through 24 people. Former council member Abel Guillen, who's now California's Deputy Superintendent of Public Instruction, received $4,200, allegedly laundered through 12 different people. According to an ABC 7 News analysis of state and federal data, both Andy Duong and his father David have made contributions totaling more than $250,000 to 28 candidates across California. More than 300 other contributions totaling over $2 million were sent to candidates or political action committees across the country, including donations to the campaigns for Representatives Eric Swalwell, Adam Schiff, Barbara Lee, and even former President Donald Trump. A campaign spokesperson for Congressman Schiff wrote the I-Team, following public news reports, the campaign will be giving $26,000, the total contribution received from Mr. Duong and his family, to a local nonprofit helping address housing and homelessness. We reached out to the other public officials directly, but haven't immediately heard back.
Here are the mayor's full comments about those evil right-wing forces that caused the FBI to raid her house.
Our city woke up to the news that the FBI had raided the home that I share with my partner and our family. You all deserve to hear directly from me about this event. I plan to be 100% transparent and cooperate fully with this investigation. And I want to be crystal clear. I have done nothing wrong. I can tell you with confidence that this investigation is not about me. I have not been charged with the crime, and I am confident that I will not be charged with the crime because I am innocent. Just like you, I am seeking answers from the U.S. Attorney about what is happening and why. Why I wasn't offered the opportunity to cooperate voluntarily. As I receive information from the FBI and the U.S. Attorney that I am authorized to share, I will share it with you all. Nothing is going to distract me from building on the progress we have made in the last 18 months. I am going to focus on doing what I came here to do. I want to know what probable cause the FBI has. What evidence have they collected that justifies raiding the home of a sitting mayor without notice and without the courtesy of a conversation? I want to know more about the handful of billionaires from San Francisco and from Piedmont who are hell-bent on running me out of office. I want to know why, the day following the qualification of a recall election, funded by some of the richest people in the Bay Area, seemed like the right day to execute a warrant. I want to know how the TV cameras knew to show up on my sleepy residential street so early in the morning to capture footage of the raid. And I want to know why Fox News and Breitbart were so prepared to fan the flames and to tell a story that they want to tell, to bend the facts to shape a narrative. I have a lot of questions and I will get answers. We all will get answers. Like any mother, my first priority immediately following the FBI intrusion was to ensure that my son and I were safe. It's hard to imagine now. By the time my first thought was that the FBI was at my door to help me, to protect me. Just hours prior, a small group of billionaires from Piedmont and San Francisco had succeeded in buying a recall election to oust me in November. And in doing so, they were not only aiming to undermine the outcome of a fair and free election, but they empowered a dangerous man with a history of assault weapons violations to further attack me and my family. When the FBI broke into my house, I thought the worst had happened. That my choice to serve my city as a public official had threatened the physical safety of my family. My worst nightmare. But what it would turn out to be, a nightmare of an entirely different kind. When you are in that much shock, and your life has been turned upside down and in an instant, it is hard to know who you can trust. But what I do know is that this wouldn't have gone down the way it did if I was rich, if I had gone to elite private schools, or if I had come from money. I know that for sure because former elected officials are sitting safely in their houses, in the hills right now with campaign finance violations piling up, mountains of evidence that prove actual wrongdoing. Their front doors remain intact, their reputations preserved, their innocence presumed until proven guilty. They will never face this indignity. This I know for sure because I was born poor in America, and that teaches you a lot about the world from day one. I know many of you know exactly how this feels. Sitting with your head in your hands, scared, angry, scared to look too angry in fear of how you might make the situation worse, feeling the injustice in every bone in your body, knowing if you cry out and demand for answers, you will do nothing but cement the judgment they have rooted deep in their mind. I see you. I really see you. And I am your mayor. I am the mayor to all the Oaklanders who work hard, who are working overtime to do the right thing and to make the world a better place. And no matter how hard you strive and push and fight and stay positive, and that you don't give up because you believe in yourself and you know what you have to offer this world, that you just cannot catch a break. Well, guess what? I'm not going down like that. We're not going down like that. The people who voted for me deserve to have their voices heard and communities prioritized. I'm seeking the truth right now, just as much as you all are. But I will not be bullied, and I will not be disparaged, and I will not be threatened out of this office. There are a lot of radical right-wing forces who know they will never win an election in Oakland fair and square. They know their extreme views are at odds with our Oakland values, but they have built the rules to protect and preserve their power and maintain dominance over the rest of us. We are a threat to that order. I know that. The people who supports me know that. You see, this was never going to be an easy fight. But I tell you, it's most definitely a fight worth winning. I will continue to lift up those most vulnerable, to lead by example, to prove that this system might not be designed for us, but we can and we will build a brighter future for our children. This is my mission as your mayor. And I thank you for seeing me in this moment, one of the hardest moments of my life. I am a mother, a fighter, a survivor. And when my parents came to this country fleeing genocide, they never could have imagined that their daughter would one day be mayor of Oakland. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and I am your mayor, Mayor Sheng Tao. Thank you. It's hard to imagine now. By the time I first thought was that the FBI was at my door to help me.
As I think it was President Reagan said, we're from the government. We're here to help.